What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 808. No heartbreaks here, though. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today by James Dean Rader. He went on with the tank top. This guy, sleeves, he will not be limited by sleeves.
It's the Friday of FRL.
It's the Friday of FRL.
I'm not going into the corporate office. You can't make me wear sleeves.
Dang it, he's right.
Wait, he's so popular he doesn't have to go into the corporate office anymore?
On Friday.
Just today.
Well, and also, it's, you know how it is, Ben. It's not a 9 to 5 kind of situation. Also, he could definitely wear a tank top to the HQ if you wanted to.
Probably have.
No one would care. It would be better than half of his other attire, anyways. more professional.
I think if you work for FloWrestling, sleeveless option is perfect.
It's perfect. I mean, Bader doesn't wear shoes, or Mike. I mean, these people shoeless.
Especially if it's 109 or whatever the hell you are doing down there in Texas.
It does get a little roasty toasty for sure. Yeah. But yeah, here we are. It's the 808. That is the Honolulu area code. Very few of you knew that, including me until this morning. And so the question is, who's the best wrestler from Hawaii? Travis Lee, right? Or BJ Penn.
Is there anyone that can even come close to Travis Lee?
I mean, are the Terrells from Hawaii? I mean, they're not as good. They weren't not national champions.
Has there ever been another national champion from Hawaii?
I think Kale was from Hawaii. I mean, Utah. Crap. That one's out.
Almost the same thing.
That one's out. Thought I had you beat. Yeah.
Iowa State legend Grant Nakamura would have been a national champion.
There you go.
If it wasn't for injuries.
No one loves Hawaiians like Iowa State loves Hawaiians. The Terrakinas?
I think it goes back to Nakamura. I think. I've tried to trace the origins, and even Sion doesn't know.
Who was...
Even Sion doesn't know the origin. Then they can never be found, ever.
Then there's no origins. No oranges found. They had another guy. Shoot, what was his name? For some reason, Bray and I were talking about this dude the other day. He changed weights significantly.
Pistano.
Was he from Hawaii? Dane Pistano.
Oh, yeah, yep, him.
So these people aren't
He
even
wrestled
related.
from 74 to 285, I think.
No offense to Ames, Iowa, or the state of Iowa, but moving from Hawaii to Ames, Iowa has to be as different an experience as there can be, and I'll just leave it at that.
It's not good.
As far as I can know, most of them go back immediately upon completing a career.
Yeah, it's probably fun. I mean,
It's like Sion. They realized they showed up in the wrong place, but Sion didn't actually realize he showed up in the wrong place.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out to Hawaii and the Hawaiian wrestlers that are there. We got a couple things we want to get to. We want to get to a potential, a hypothetical duel meet. That's not hypothetical. It could very well happen. So it'll be exciting. But wanted to discuss this James Green, Dennis Hall tweet. I won't call it a tweet exchange. That sounds
I haven't seen this. I didn't actually get the show docs. I'm flying blind here. I'm good with that,
buddy.
So I'm good. I'll fly blind. I love it.
No, you're shared on it, Ben. I'm looking right now. You're shared.
Sometimes it doesn't come up in my email. Like, it didn't come up on Tuesday either.
Yeah, but you were shared on it, and I didn't do anything special, and then you found it. It's there, Ben.
Yeah, I wish I could screen share with you right now, but yeah,
I wish
it's
you
not
could
there.
too.
All right, well, I'm here now. I found it.
What? How?
I googled. I typed in 808 in the search bar.
All right. We
James Green.
So
Let's see.
Dennis Hall tweeted, and Dennis Hall, Greco wrestler. He's a Olympic silver, I believe, Olympic silver, I believe. When I was training, he tweeted, when I was training, I never missed practice because I was dinged up. I either sucked it up or modified my training to accommodate it. Don't let minor injuries stop you from getting better today. And then James Green quote tweeted, said, I did this, worked through little injuries, and here I am dinged up and retired. If you're living your life right off the mat, I promise you taking a day or week to take care of those injuries will do you justice in the long run. I thought this was an interesting perspective from two guys that experienced a lot of success in the sport, and I thought, hey, let's hear from Ben Funky Askren what he thinks about this.
And you have Quentin B. Wright in the comments also.
Quentin B. Wright says, overworking is worse than underworking for peak performance. There is time for both, but during peak competition, you will be amazed at what 5 days of nothing but rest will do.
And Sean commented also, we had so many elite wrestlers.
So true.
I
he
would,
says.
I would definitely. So, 37-year-old Ben would side with James Green. I think. Listen, I didn't 9 years of college and high school wrestling. I didn't miss a practice, not one. Um, so younger me, and I didn't get hurt a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
younger me would have sided with Dennis Hall. Um, Older me says James Green for sure. If this is, there's I actually have a sports psych book coming out on this exact topic. There's a chapter specifically on this. There's times when injury, and I'll give you guys a very specific example. There's times when injuring yourself is going to make it worse. So if you keep practicing, you're a dummy. And then there's obviously a lot of kids, I'm saying younger kids specifically, but because by the time they get to senior level athlete, this is probably pretty rare, who are just not mentally tough enough to deal with a little bit of pain. And you need to be able to deal with a little bit of pain, because the idea that you're going to be perfect when you wrestle is, I mean, it's fun to think about, but it's probably not going to happen all that much. And so like the example used in the book is my senior year at Big 12s, I did a duck under against Brandon Mason and my rib popped and it was really painful. And so the discussion Coach Smith and I had is like, listen, there's not really like a rib, for example, there's not really any way to work on a rib. Like no matter what you do, it's going to use your ribs, and there's certain things like this, a neck too. A neck is like really hard to work around and actually wrestle. Mm-hmm. So we said, hey man, listen, if I wrestle, my rib is going to continue to stay bad and I'm going to deal with it at nationals, or I can just not wrestle for the next, 11 days, whatever it is, and do cardio and lift the lifts that don't hurt it. And I'll probably be healthy or be as healthy as possible by nationals. And so we went with that, right? So I stayed off the mat for 11 days and, maybe I was a little more out of shape. My time was a tiny bit off, but it was healthy and it felt good the whole time. And that really, if I was in that much pain, because like when I did it right after the match, I was in a lot of pain, it would have been tough to win.
Yeah. So after Big 12, you took 11 days off?
Yeah, I didn't wrestle again. I mean, like my next time I wrestled was warming up for nationals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked about that?
Oh. Maybe.
I feel like I know most of your stories, Ben. I missed that one.
Yeah. Well, that same exact year, I hurt my ankle in the semis of the Missouri Open, actually, against this dude from like a D2 guy. He was a good D2 guy, but I hurt it in the match. And I didn't wrestle. I literally didn't step on the mat again until the Vegas tournament, which was like 2 weeks later. And I didn't even know if my ankle was going to hold up. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to mess with it. It was super painful. Tape me up as tight as you can, and I'm going to go out there. If it doesn't work, I'll injure default. That type of thing. And I went out and I pinned everyone, and it was fine, and we're good to go.
Yeah, so I think a big part of the challenge for wrestlers is understanding like there's always going to be an element, right? Or at least I think there's an element of discomfort or
sure,
some element where you're not going to feel great, and just like the level of discernment I think you have to have. I wonder for someone like James, like in high school and early college, are you thinking this is just sort of a part of the experience? At what point do you become like so in tune with your own body and injuries that you understand when to take that time?
It's not only in tune. A big part of actually, Christian, that is the psychological factor of I don't want my coach thinking I'm a wimp, or I don't want my dad thinking I'm a wimp. And them not having that relationship with their coach where they can be honest about how bad it really hurts or how bad it really is. Now, you also need to know your kid, because I got a couple of kids who maybe lean into like it's too painful. And I go talk to their parents first, because I'm not going to push a 15-year-old kid if I don't have the parents' permission. And I don't understand what the doctor's saying also, right? But once I understand what the doctor's saying and the parents are like, yeah, get him going, then it's like, dude, like, we got to go. Like, this is fine. It's not going to get worse. The doctor told you this is not going to get worse. I know it doesn't feel good, but you need to go wrestle.
Yeah, most humans don't even have a working spleen. So what's the point, dude? Just get out there.
Yeah, for real. But a lot of it is the I don't know if it's ego or something like that, where the kids are worried. Oh, coach is going to think I'm a wimp. Oh, coach is going to be mad at me. That type of behavior.
Yeah. It's interesting, Quentin saying 5 days of nothing but rest will do. I wonder how much I wonder how much of Quentin's opinions were shaped by his time at Penn State, and are we getting like a glimpse into how they do periodization? Because it sounds like they're very much of the less is more sort of mentality, at least as it would be compared to other college teams.
Yeah. I'd never ever done 5 days off straight in my life. I wouldn't know what that. I couldn't do it. I don't think I'd go nuts. Start fighting my wife or something.
Thankfully, you have Ozzy now, so you can fight.
Yeah, Ozzy will battle with me. Thank God. Yeah, I mean, I definitely though. I'm big on going light before events and tournaments. So I'm definitely for that part of it. 5 days of nothing. I don't know. I would struggle. I would struggle mightily with that.
It's funny. 2 days ago, Caleb at practice, I didn't know about this at practice, but he got like, they were working on halves a bunch, and he got like head pinched through on something, and he never said anything about it. And he woke up the next day, and like he walked around like this most of the day. He couldn't make his neck straight. So he's never really been injured. You know how he's 11. He goes. So we're just like icing it and just gonna rest for a couple of days. He's like, so is my neck gonna be like this forever? Like he was literally concerned. He's like, so I'm like, no, man, no way. He's like, is it gonna be years? I'm like, you're gonna feel better like tomorrow, and then by Sunday it's gonna be like nothing at all. So it's funny.
That's funny.
He's
yeah,
freaking out.
Little ones heal very, very quickly.
Yes, they do. Anyway, so I thought that was an interesting little back and forth there, but. The other side of it, you know,
Christian, I'll tell you, my your shared document just came through to me at 8:19 in my email. FYI. I don't know what the delay was there.
I don't either, because when I hit the share button, it already said it was shared with you. So
weird.
I don't know what's happening. Probably something with your Spectrum internet, if I had to guess.
So Greco, though, one of the only things they have is toughness. So probably I'm legit. You ain't got no moves. You just got to go try to beat the crap out of someone. That's all you do. You just keep them elbows in and then just try to beat them up. Boom, 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 boom. With maybe an elbow in there.
Keith Gothard is going to devastate you, man. A statement like that. All they've got is toughness.
But we all know it at the senior level, international Greco wrestling. It's more about what they can't do to you than what you can do to them type things.
Gotcha.
You got defensive liabilities. You're gonna get bombed, and you're not gonna be good at wrestling.
How important is the ability to train, continue to wrestle, practice, whatever, through some element of maybe not injury, but something, discomfort, whatever?
Well, I'll say two things. I think number one, when you're younger, if you have an injury and you want to avoid using, say like it's a thumb, right? A thumb is a common wrestling injury, and so you can't grab as well, you know. I think that sometimes it teaches you how to do other things, right? Because if you're really reliant on your grip and all of a sudden you can't use it, you need to do something else to wrestle, right? So I think that's a good thing that forces you there. And then I guess number two would only be a partial thing, is like, there may come a time when you need to compete and you're hurt, maybe significantly or not. But like you say, Yanni in the ACL, like what
are you going to do? Forfeit?
What are you going to do? Yeah, can't get a new ACL in a day. Forfeit. Nah, you're going to go try to win the title, right? And so obviously in practice, an ACL might be an extreme example. You wouldn't do it in practice. But the ability to wrestle with some type of discomfort and not let it affect you at all that's hugely valuable, because you don't know what's going to happen throughout your career.
Yeah, exactly. It's
But I think once you establish that, you don't need to, like, this is where I think wrestling people kind of go overboard sometimes, is like, once you cross that threshold of, I can do this, like I can wrestle and ignore my pain or injury or whatever, right? Yeah. It's not like you need to do it over and over and over again. You already have that skill. The skill's not going away. You're tough enough. You know, like you can't, like, it doesn't need to be like the highest ever. Once it gets to a certain threshold, you're fine, then you're fine.
Can it swing too hard the other way? Just in overall, are we seeing it a little bit with guys getting held out, guys getting where if you're not feeling right, perfect, whatever, you don't wrestle, you don't compete. There's for whatever reason, there's like a forfeit discussion happening right now on Twitter.
I thought that was because they didn't want to take L's though, not because they were actually hurt.
Well, I don't know. We can.
Isn't that what
hypothesize.
we're assuming?
We could assume that because it's often correlated with tougher matches. It's rarely against the match where they're the heavy favorites. But I do think there is an element of the forfeit just to, hey, he's not right, he's not 100%, or he's not, feeling perfect. So we're not gonna wrestle him. I think it can go. I think it can swing a little hard the other way.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I have some younger kids who I'm trying to push a little bit through those type of things, But like James Green and Dennis Hall, these are senior level athletes, and it's very, very, very difficult to get to be a senior level athlete with it, having not gone through some of that and not be kind of at that level.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get to this this duel. You want to do that next, boys?
Sure. Let's do it.
JD's put this together. You want to tee it up, James?
Well, we mentioned Negron going to Arizona State and from Penn State, and we were kind of thinking that this could be an interesting duel. So that plus maybe the Iowa duel. What's going to be the best duel next year?
So it's interesting. And basically the question is which team can best challenge Penn State? Penn State is going to be far and away the favorite to win NCAAs, and they'll be a favorite in every single duel. So which team matches up the best with Penn State? And it might be Arizona State this year. The problem with Penn State is their murderer's row of 74 through 97 is insane, and then they've got a great heavyweight also. But I think as we go through this matchup, it's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's manageable. They're
There's
an
a
upset
path to
away.
victory.
There's a path to victory. This path is uphill, and in the extreme desert heats.
I think it's gonna rely a lot on your hero.
Who's my hero? Oh, Bo Hartley. Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be. I feel like that's like the hinge point of the duel.
I don't even think that's true.
Really?
I actually think 41 is a must-have for Arizona State. Like if they don't win that one.
Okay, so I guess that's what I was saying is if they have to win. That's the match where they win the duel. If they don't win that match, because some of the other ones I'm not really giving them much of a shot on.
Yeah, they do have to win that one. That's one they need. So let's look at 125. You've got Brandon Courtney versus Robbie Howard. Robbie will be back. He's recovered from injury. We've seen him on the freestyle mat. He's looked fine, albeit. Did your wife just bring you that coffee pot?
I don't know. My wife's gone, so I had to bring my own coffee pot.
Oh my gosh, you just brought
I brought
the pot
the whole
down.
thing down.
There you go. Oh wow, you got a little left. No, he's gonna be at 9:22. He's gonna be begging for.
No, I made less coffee than
he made less.
I love this guy. Got this cute mug. My daughter put her own face on a turkey thing for Thanksgiving, and it was so cute. I made it into a mug. Look how hilarious it is.
That is awesome. Man, I need one of those, just not with your daughter's face on it. Natalie, get on it.
Place on there, whoever you want.
Okay, maybe JD's. JD on a turkey.
There you go.
That would be a good mug.
It'd be a pretty cool mug, honestly. I think that's the kind of mug JD wants, actually. Next Christmas, give a picture of JD
With my own face?
Yeah, on a turkey. Okay. I don't know what happened. We're 125. Courtney versus Robert Howard. Think this is a decision victory for Brandon Courtney until proven otherwise. He kind of has matches can kind of run away. He can be a runaway train at times and get some bonus, but I think Howard's not going to be giving that up.
But Robbie didn't look great at man, I should bring up the bracket so I know who he lost.
He also hurt his elbow really bad.
Yeah.
At trials.
I worry about the injury side for Robbie just because been battling them for
since high school.
Yeah, and since the better part of his college career, right? He was out all last year basically with injury. Now he's back on the mat. Now he's injured again. Now is it a serious injury? I don't think so. But still concerning.
Who did he lose to? Okay, can I make a business suggestion for you guys while I'm asking a question?
Oh, this would be perfect.
This is perfect. Okay, so for a lot of people, if I see a name, like I'm thinking of Robbie Howard right now, and I wonder who he lost to. I can just type in Robbie Howard track wrestling, boom, and the results will populate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys should find a way, since you own track, to make the Flow Arena results go directly to their track profile. So that way, because like, for example, the last couple of years, Fargo has been on Flow Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I were to like see a kid and look him up and wonder how good he is, I wouldn't be able to find the Fargo results. Please tell me this is in the process of happening.
We'll have some great news. This is and has been in the process, so it will
Yes!
be. It will be a reality.
How soon?
TDB.
No, give me a date.
I don't know the date, so you don't know the date, but there's a date.
Really? That's
yeah,
awesome.
for sure. It's gonna happen. Yep.
Okay, sweet. Because I would just like to type in Robbie Howard right now and find the results. And now I got to go scroll through and find the tournament. I will find it, though.
As Joe Caprino says, it's just a database query, Benjamin.
I don't know. Stop talking nerd stuff, Joe Caprino.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to make us feel like idiots because we're idiots. Well,
database query. Kiss my butt. Oh, we lost to Joey Volk.
That's right, Joe. Okay. So we'll get you that.
How do you say this guy's name? Jory
Volk.
Jory Volk.
Yeah, he balled out of control. This man was on fire.
Yes.
He was the talk of the town. So
dang.
I got Courtney decision. I actually thought Howard was really in that match and just kind of made some mistakes and wound up losing. Volk the rightful winner, obviously, but
yeah,
my thoughts. So who do you got, Ben?
I got Brandon Courtney. I think potential's on a major decision. I think there's that possibility.
It's potential. Okay, then Mikhail McGee versus RBY. These two have wrestled, maybe multiple times, but Roman has obviously won, and I would say he will win again. Except
he really put it on. No, he put it on him at where did he put it on him this year?
The dual tournament.
Collegiate duels.
Collegiate duels.
Yeah.
It was 6-2.
6-2. I think it's a decision for Roman. Personally. Mm-hmm. This is all right. So Bo Bartlett, Jesse Vasquez is very interesting because Bo, as some of the critics would maintain, is a reluctant attacker. I would not say this. That's not how I would describe him.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
It's you wouldn't understand it at this level, Ben.
What? Well, I mean, if we're going to say reluctant attacker is not the key describer, I am very curious as to what you would describe it as.
I would say he's careful. Very careful person, and I think that's an excellent quality. So we'll see how he looks at 41. It could be a whole new Bo Bartlett. I think it's gonna be I think you're gonna turn it up just a little bit. He's gonna be more offensive. I don't think we're gonna be like, wow, Bo is just attacking like crazy. Jesse is kind of a crazy wrestler. He's all over the place. Big moves. He's dynamic. He makes mistakes. I think that's a tough matchup, honestly, for Jesse. But I think they've got to have it. You know who I'm picking. I'm picking.
You know what?
BB Gun.
I'm gonna pick the BB Gun. That should be a new nickname.
Don't make that his nickname. It just came to me.
That's recently. A great nickname.
Machine Gun Bartlett. Machine Gun Mindset. He's calculated. That's right, Taylor Matthews. Calculated there. That's a good way of saying it. Yes. I don't really foresee any way that Jesse Vasquez can beat Bo Bartlett. What? You don't foresee any way he could beat?
No.
There's no path to victory for Jesse Vasquez.
No.
Wow.
I mean, listen, he's a guy who was number one in high school, and it's been multiple years now. And as much as I give Bo Bartlett a hard time for not developing. Bo Bartlett went to the big dance and won a couple matches, and he's not what he was in high school. And he's not developing like some people, but he's surely developing more than Jesse Vasquez is. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. So I don't really see a path to victory for Jesse Vasquez.
Yes. Okay. So Bo.
I mean,
over.
name one really good college win that Jesse Vasquez has. It's been 2 years now.
He beat. Okay, really good. Okay, maybe not. He beat Caden
Hey,
Rooks.
so,
He beat Colin Girardi. Um,
are those guys NCAA qualifiers?
I don't think so. Maybe
Come
Caden
on,
Rooks
man.
was. You come on, man.
No, I will
He beat
not.
Joey Bianchi.
Really? Where? Son of a gun.
12-6.
I love Joey Bianchi.
Doubled him up.
That's a great American family right there.
Yep. So that's his signature win.
Son of a.
Yeah. So we'll see. You know, I mean, we all picked Bo here.
Triple B.
Triple B. No, not Triple B. We're not calling him that. His middle name's, well, we don't know his middle name.
I'm saying we're
The Better Business Bureau.
Triple B
I like
for the
BB
double
Gun. That's a good one.
I regret saying it. Shane Van Ness versus Kyle Parko. This is must win for Arizona State. We are in must win territory right now.
We are.
And I think, man, honestly, Van Ness is such a mystery right now. We're like totally, because even remember, I think his senior year he was out with injury. How much did he even wrestle his senior year of high school? Because he couldn't wrestle at who's number one. He broke his leg, I think.
Yes.
So
that was like Corona year, right?
And it was Corona year, so it was weird anyways. And I don't think we saw him on the freestyle scene much, if any.
Yeah, why did he wrestle freestyle all this year? Because hasn't he wrestled freestyle before?
Yes.
Is he too old for UWW juniors right now?
Shouldn't be.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't know.
Two wins.
It is
and
odd
two
when
forfeits.
the rest of the Penn State class is. That's what is maybe slightly concerning.
Yeah.
It's not the whole team is not competing in these tournaments. It's just him.
When Shane came out, I thought this is a pretty special guy because I think he combines. He's got a crazy pace, but he's not just a pace guy. He's got a lot of ways to score. I think he's tough. I think he's really, really good. But at this point, I'm literally citing who's number one matches. What am I citing right now? He went 2-0 as a true freshman. So I'm literally just relying on high school results and the fact that and old high school results, not like, oh, he recently beat, Jesse Mendez or whatever. It's like a while ago now. I'm thinking back to like the 2019 Who's Number Ones.
2019. We're talking 2019.
We're talking about Carver Hawkeye Arena. We still had a green logo then. We're talking green logo results. We're talking a freaking wave. And so it's like, man, that's tough. So the reason you're doing it, you're saying, okay, in 2019 he was this. He went to Penn State. He's been there and he's healthy. Therefore, he should beat Kyle Parko. But I think it's almost a wait and see type of thing for Shane. I don't know. Who are you going to pick, Ben?
I'm going to pick Kyle Parko because anything else is just speculation. I mean, Kyle Parko is a guy who's got it done at the college level for a couple of years now, and Shane Van Ness is a guy to your point, we haven't seen in a very long time. I mean, I'm going to bring up Parko Parko right now is 59-10 at the college level with 2 All-Americans under his belt. Picking Shane Van Ness is only speculation.
Yes, it is. But
it's the Thomas Gilman Spencer Lee thing right now.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because he's right. Spencer Lee has only 3 or 4 matches at the international level.
Yeah.
The last time we saw Spencer Lee 3 years ago, he did look pretty good.
He did.
Okay.
I think
we
have slightly more data for Spencer Lee at the world level than we do Shane Van Ness at the college level, is what I would say. This guy's a multiple age level world champ. He won senior nationals beating our current number 2 guy soundly.
There's been junior world medalists that have gone on that haven't even All-Americaned.
He's also a 3-time NCAA champion. He also destroyed Vito.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Well,
we get it.
Do you know? Because it sounds like I have to actually say it. Because right now, currently we're comparing Shane Van Ness to Spencer Lee. So I'm just trying to say, maybe not quite a 1-to-1. I don't know. Perhaps.
Hey, Shane Van Ness, I did look at him, man. There's no 2020 results at all. 2019, kind of the last thing was he wrestled in the New Way Summer Duels in July of 2019, and you can't really find anything after that. But hey, let me read you this Ironman bracket. 5 of the 6 guys went D1. Want to hear it? That he beat?
Hit it.
Kendall Norfleet, who is at Arizona State. None of them are having great success. Mick Burnett, who is I think he's at Pitt. Justin Rivera, who's at Campbell. Jordan Decatur, who's or was at Ohio State, Ohio State, maybe still there. I'm not sure. And then Frankie Telshar, who's at Northwestern, who I think he's the only NCAA qualifier out of the bunch.
Truth.
Yeah.
So
good run.
Yeah, that's a good run. He's beaten some good dudes. He won the 4-man bracket at Who's Number 1, which is probably, I think, his best accomplishment. I think he beat Jesse and Ryan Jack.
Do you want to hear something crazy? I'm still on Shane Van Ness's profile. So on track they have like the pages as 15 results per page.
Right.
He has competed so little that on his first page there's still middle school results.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy.
It is interesting. All that being said, I'm going Shane Van Ness over Kyle Parker.
Oh, stop. Speculation. That's all you're doing right now.
It's called a prediction. That's all this is. It's all a prediction.
No, but it's a prediction based on what?
Based on factors. Factors, talent, upside, environment, savagery.
Purely speculation.
It's not speculation. Yes, it's all speculation. It's all speculation. Yeah.
He could not even be the starter.
Who's going to beat him out?
He might not even start.
I don't know. We don't know.
Shane Van Ness might realize
Where is Shane Van Ness?
I'm sorry, Shane Van Ness. Bo Bartlett might realize 141's too hard of a cut. Then he goes back up.
Guess who beat Kyle Parker last year?
The best win of his college career, actually.
Yeah, that's a pretty good win over a 2-time All-American. You're like minimizing it like that's not a great win.
Oh man! All right.
Later. He also beat Colin Realbuto in a great match.
Oh,
who's competing this weekend?
Don't bring him up.
At Pelicone.
Colin Realbuto,
I believe.
He's kind of nice.
In the motherland.
I kind of like Colin Realbuto.
Yeah, let's go.
He's
Colin had him. Damn it.
Sorry, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings.
All right.
Okay. So that's speculation, prediction, whatever, what have you. We'll see them all at the finish line. We'll see what happens.
Penn State lover piles.
Well, that may be true, but it's turned out to be very helpful in my predictions.
What if they know Tony Negron could beat Bear Claw and they bump Teamer up to wrestle Facundo? That's kind of their only path to victory, I think.
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
So here's the thing, man. Tony, Rich Perez might be in the chat. Rich Perez Negron might be in here. Get out of here. You get out of here, Jason Hildreth. It's my pick. You make your own pick.
Yeah, get out of here.
Beat it. Me and Ashlyn agrees with me. He says SVN smokes him. Rich Perez is often in the Facebook chat. If you're in there, Rich Negron, would you please tell us if Tony can make 157 anymore? This is the brother of the man we're talking about, Tony. I think at the end he could not hold 57 anymore. So I would not think he'd be able to make it for this match. So that's my that's my prediction.
Is there anyone else they have in there that could beat Bear Claw 57? Because if they could bump Teamer up, he might be able to get a win.
This is a great idea, Ben. Let's look at ASU wrestling roster.
That's what I'm doing right now too.
We're gonna Google it. And we're gonna find a 57 that can do this, that can get the job done at 57. What do we know about Gustavo Fonseca Walker? I don't know a lot about him. I don't think he's the man for the job. I don't know much about him.
Maybe
there's Kendall Norfleet. I just brought him up a second ago.
Ricky Roberto.
No, I don't think he can get it done either.
From Waterboy?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, we don't have a lot of 57s here.
Well, their next class isn't on here. Maybe they have somewhere in their next.
They got Michael Killick coming in, but I don't think he's going to be big enough.
He's pretty tough.
He is. I don't think he's going to be big enough for 57. Maybe.
Maybe Colton Schultz can
All
suck
right.
down.
Well, they could cut Colton Schultz in half.
That it's still gonna
Half a
be
Schultz.
it's gonna be tight.
Uh,
Okay, so we're having a hard time finding that 57 that can beat Bear Claw. So I think you just got to go
all right.
and wrestle Teamer. Problem is, Teamer's not gonna. Teamer could put up major points, but he's gonna win by like 4 or 5.
He's not. He's gonna dink around and
And
then
then
win
stand
by a
there and get the
couple.
score you need to. And Ollie, this is true. You can get mad all you want.
Yeah, where's Ollie at?
You can yell at me, but you know what it's gonna happen. Like Bear Claw's no pushover, anyways. But Jacory's the kind of guy he could smash through many guys, but he won't.
No, he had a lot of 2-point or less wins.
Yeah, so he's just going to get his decision and move on. So we can declare a decision for Teamer and move on at this point in time. So 3 for Arizona State. Now we move up to 165. Tony Negron versus Alex Facundo. It's kind of tough to make a case for Tony here, knowing if he could make 65, he probably
If he could beat Facundo, he probably would have stayed.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is a decision, and I do think Facundo is still an interesting, question mark, right? Like he's looked awesome at juniors. The fields are not amazing, right? But the fact that he's dominating through, it's like he's not squeaking through. He's totally destroyed everyone at both the
But
open
his
and
focus
He's also a
was
big
also
freestyle
so much
guy.
different last year because, he lost. We brought this up yesterday, but he lost to Caleb Fish, who has actually not done well in the freestyle tournaments at all. He was in those kind of the same brackets. John Martin Best, who I think you'd be hard pressed to argue that he was a world beater last year. He wasn't very good. And then, the best of the bunch, who is still not all that great, would be Thomas Bullard.
Mm-hmm.
He took those 3 losses, and then obviously he had the close one. Barzak's probably his best win, and that was in overtime. Yeah, he just had trouble. He only beat Matt Lee 3-2 also, so he had trouble generating offensive guys who were good. He's putting a lot of points up on guys who aren't very good, but against the guys who are good, he had a hard time generating offense.
Yeah, Arizona State, man, they really need. If you're gonna beat Penn
Kennedy
State,
Monday.
Oh,
How about that?
Well, that would be certainly interesting. Kennedy Monday, I think, has a great shot to beat Alex Facundo. So, tough one, but I'm going with Facundo here for 3. I think if you're going to beat Penn State, you need to be able to win 165, right? You got to be able to win 65-57 and 25-41 probably, because there's a lot.
65 or 41 is where you would need the upset, because I don't think you're going to get any of these other ones.
Yes. So we're going Facundo. Who you got?
Facundo.
Shout out to Rich, though. Great.
Do we need any discussion on the next 3, or can we just say decision?
Well, it would
There's
be
potential for a bonus.
Yeah, this could be charitable for Arizona State to say that, because I think Dean majored him last time, Norfleet. Max Dean in this dual meet here. I'll find it.
I think there's also a chance Norfleet might not come back.
Oh, that would be bad.
I thought he said he was coming back somewhere. I'll find it for
know.
you, Mr. CP. It was 10-1.
10-1. Yeah, so I'll go major there. So decision. Well, dude, Starachi should probably bonus Kyle Valencia.
You would think so.
I would think so. I'm going major Starachi, decision Brooks, major Dean.
I'll go major decision.
Okay.
I'm going major decision.
You're too high on the Brooks big. Montalvo's good.
So good. Brooks gonna do a lot of double thigh pry.
He loves it. Try to get away. You can't do it. And then, okay, here's the big showdown. Colton Schultz, Greg Kirkfleet. We almost saw it at the duel, but then we didn't.
That was unfortunate.
That was unfortunate, much to our chagrin. I think I'm going with Colton here. I bet probably last year I would have not made this prediction. I probably would have said I got Greg, but after Colton's performance at NCAAs, just how freaking hard he is to score on, how big he is. I could see him moving him around. I could see him riding Greg. I've got Colton by a decision here.
Because this is hypothetically a regular season duel, I go Colton. Postseason
Colton.
could be a different story.
Postseason duel.
Really?
meet?
Why?
Because Penn State oftentimes wins in the postseason. I realize what Colton did, and Kirkfleet hasn't been the best postseason, but I've come to just kind of default to, if it's up in the air, lean Penn State. If it's NCAA quarterfinals on.
Yeah, I guess I tend to do that too. I just don't know that it's up in the air.
Yeah. For Greg, I mean, why did he forfeit to Jordan Wood again?
He was hurt.
He was hurt.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go Colton Schultz in both the regular and postseason until proven otherwise.
Yeah. And Colton's someone I could see giving up a takedown against. You're not going to ride this dude. It's basically impossible. So
too large.
He's going to be coming at you, pushing you around for basically 7 minutes unless he's holding you down on the mat. So he could give up a takedown early and just keep coming. I think he'll end up getting enough step outs to force stalls or to force bad shots.
Step out.
That's what I mean it. I mean, he's going to run guys. Like a big part of Colton's strategy is to get to his hooks and run guys out of bounds. And you do it enough times, you get stall points, or they take bad shots and he runs behind because that's a big boy. And that's how I see it going. So for all the talk about this duel, it still ends up being very Penn State-y.
Yes.
Right now, he is crunching the numbers. Is James?
I believe you have it 23-9. Ben and I have it 20-12.
2012, great year. Jordan.
Hey, no, you got one more point
Krispy
than me. JD, you got 1 point because you had 3 majors and I had 2 majors.
No, but I only had a decision for Max Dean.
Oh, on the board it said you said 4. It said you had all majors on the board. There you go. I'll rewind to make sure I'm not missing it. Hold on. I'm rewinding. Yep, the board shows all 3 majors for you.
That's Tyler's board. That's not what I said.
Tyler!
Yell at Tyler. Listen, Tyler, for a word going around Flow Sports water coolers, Tyler's quite the ace slow pitch softball pitcher. We started the league. The season opener was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
JD's playing.
That's right.
Andrew Spay, the best athletes at Flow Sports.
Is this only full sports? Is it only full wrestling, or is it all full sports?
All Flow Sports.
Actually, Spain and me are the only wrestling team members.
Yeah.
Mark didn't make the team?
It was an open invite to everybody, but,
Jeez, Bader, get it together.
Spain and me, we don't got kids or responsibilities on Wednesday nights, so.
Yeah, kids.
We got a little more flexibility.
I think
especially since our game didn't start last night till like 9:30.
Oh my gosh, what?
Slow pitch softball, very family friendly. Good environment.
I love slow pitch softball. Miss it.
People forget I was Heart of Iowa Conference, honorable mention, all conference senior year, baseball.
That doesn't come up enough on
God.
this show. Ben is so jealous right now.
What? He was all conference baseball.
Yeah.
Listen.
How about you be excited for him? Instead of downgrade him. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't make the Olympics in baseball, JD. You loser.
Just another one of the haters and doubters, of which there are many.
Of which there are so
sad.
Many.
I was thinking more about the quality of competition when the average school attendance is 72. In
Iowa is good at baseball. It's tradition rich.
Stop.
Field of dreams.
That's right.
Iowa is good at baseball.
Stop. You didn't know, number one. I don't know how the hell you know high school baseball rankings. And number two, I don't know them, but there's no way that's true.
Iowa, it's not like the best.
It's
but
not the worst.
It's good. Iowa has
how
good
do you
baseball.
know that, Christian?
Because it's a tradition. Because here's how I know this. Because I remember the big excuse from Iowa people when they didn't do good at Fargo is like, well, everyone's playing baseball or working in the farms and stuff. Like, basall's a big deal.
Bro, that's an excuse. That don't mean it's real.
It's real to me. Darn it.
I'm gonna freaking Google this right now. I'm upset at you, Christian.
You're easily
let's
upset.
see,
You're very sensitive, Ben Askren.
High school baseball by state, maybe.
I'm not saying it's the
Baseball.
best. I said it's good. You know what? I think
And they're
I need
ranked number
Andy Hamilton
36.
right now.
High school baseball rankings. Let's see. Which best? No, team. I don't want teams. I want.
According to
Like, do they
USA
have any-
Today, it does not crack the top 10.
Yeah, I don't think they're very good. I mean, you got like California and Florida and
I
Texas.
bet they're
I'm
top
like,
25.
But
No,
in cold weather states, number one.
maybe out of cold weather states.
Wow. Thank you, Liz
Yeah.
Shalinsky. Spotty.
Fox Sports put it at number 27.
That's pretty good. On a per capita basis?
Per
Per
capita.
capita.
That's not per capita, and that's not
stop,
taking into
Bridget.
account weather. That's
cap-
all 50.
Yeah. All 50
Oh my
per
gosh.
capita.
Given the circumstances, it might be the best.
Honestly, it's top 10. It's top 10, and it might be the best. So, okay, and Ross Patton says, Iowa plays in summer when most states play in the spring.
It's true.
See, you didn't know that either, Ben. Because
Oh
you're
my
too busy
God.
hating in your lofty throne in Wisconsin.
I'm with. Hey, Virginia's got a team on the top 25. They got Hanover High School in Mechanicsville. You know
Yep.
that one?
Mm-hmm.
Lake Travis is number 18 in case Caleb wants to move to a good baseball high school.
Lake Travis.
I was going to say good sports high school.
They're like they have NFL
That's
players.
like Drew Brees, Baker Mayfield, I think, went there. Maybe
There you go.
that might,
Caleb's
one of them
next
might have
Drew
gone to
Brees.
Westgate.
Nick
but I think
Foles, one of
yeah.
them. Yeah, Westlake. Yeah.
Oh.
So we've established that Iowa is really good at baseball,
Yes.
and I was right once again. Okay. Let's get to some questions. There's a lot. Let's go. Which one do we want first? I don't want to do a voicemail one. Where's this one for Ben? Would Benjamin trade at Hodge for a world champion
Oh, I saw that.
medal?
That's a tough one. If you upgrade me to a world championship, then yes, for sure. World medal, I'm not so sure. People in that era, people don't really remember all the world medals. Like say like Donnie Pritzloff won a world medal, and I think people forget that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I forgot that
so-
until you said it, and
yeah.
I knew it definitely at some point.
So that's a tough one. Although sometimes I think sometimes I see these current guys win world medals, and but I didn't even win a world medal. I freaking suck. I didn't even get a world medal. I stink. Sometimes I think that.
Oh,
So
it is that.
it would make me feel a little better about myself, but I'm not trading it unless I get a world title. If you give me a world title, I'll trade it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But
That's a big deal.
but an Olympic medal.
Olympic medal, I'd probably do it for an Olympic medal. Yeah, we'll do that.
Liz forgot that Donnie was a world medalist as well. Like I think we'll look back like guys like Cologne. We'll probably remember it more because it's just more in the modern era with like internet and stuff. But he's definitely one that kind of sticks out. It's kind of funny to think about. Okay, EJ Newton out here trying to fix Greco. We applaud him. He says, I think Greco should add a rule that if you score a step out, you can put your opponent down and force parterre. More chances on top equal more points. Plus, people will push harder for throws, etc. What do you think of that rule idea, Ben?
Love it. Let's do it.
I like it too. I'm pretty sure. So I was telling JD about this yesterday, but during the Olympics, when Andy and I were just sitting there watching, and there's some long Greco days there, and we're thinking like, this isn't great to watch, and we're here. So what would we do better? And I think this idea from EJ is literally what Andy said. He's like, I think if they get a step out, they should get enforced parterre. So this is a common thought. So I think it's a good idea. I stand by it. Keith Gothard approves. Wow, that's interesting.
The biggest of all of the Greco
You know
guys.
my Greco rules. I think they should just start like each guy gets 2 gut wrench locks and a reverse lift lock, and that's the whole match. You get like 20 seconds per. We'll call it a day. Whoever's got the most points wins.
Okay, that's an option. We could look into
That's
that.
some fun.
Didn't they used to make him start chest to chest?
Oh yeah, that was how Rulon won a freaking Olympic
Yeah.
title over Karelin.
And then he broke the lock.
He broke the lock and then recovered, and that's why he beat the GOAT. It's he did it.
To be very wide and strong.
He's wide. His width. What does Sean Carroll wants to know, what does a Seth Gross carnivore taco look like? How could you make a carnivore taco?
Oh, carnivore taco. I
It's
don't
gonna be
know.
tough. I don't know.
Can you do cheese?
Dairy
What is
might
this? Why,
be
why
in.
are we asking this? Did Seth say he did a carnivore taco or something?
No, Sean Carroll. Well, someone asked what the top 5 taco spots in Missouri were, and then someone's like, "Well, what would a Seth Gross carnivore taco look like?"
Oh, you
'Cause
can do a carnivore taco.
you can get
you?
well if you can do cheese, which I don't think he can, but like you can fry up the cheese to make a little taco.
Wow.
I don't think it's
cheese.
gonna work, JD. I like your
It
creativity. I
works.
applaud your creativity.
La Tunita 512 does their tacos like that. They have the tortilla outside of that, but they have like a little cheese tortilla almost on the inside too.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I hear you loud and clear.
I'm
I
not
do
saying it's
like it when-
ideal, okay, but I'm trying to help Seth out.
Trying
make
to
it
help.
happen.
Can we just help someone?
What
Would that
if
be
you
the worst
had?
thing,
Okay, I
Ben?
got it, JD. What if you got one of them really thin pieces of steak and you cooked that, and then you put the other steak in the thin piece of
could
steak,
maybe
and
work.
then that would
Yeah,
would
I was
work.
trying to think of a good meat container. What could be
Or
shaped?
one of those
and
super
hard-
thin pieces of steak, and then you can kind of wrap it.
Yeah, almost like a burrito. Yeah, like a soft taco.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Okay, figured it out.
Just deli meat it up.
Do we want? All right, we have voicemails. Which one do we think is best, JD? I heard them all, but I'm curious which one you want. We got Bad Santa. We've got Simon from Minnesota. Let's do Simon from Minnesota.
Simon from Minnesota. Let's go.
Hey, this is Simon from Minnesota, and I just got done listening to you guys talk about Jordan and his reign of greatness. So it brought me thinking of an athlete that maybe could have had that long of a reign, and I was thinking of Kale. So it's pretty nuts to wrap your head around, but his senior year was 2002. That'd be like Kale if he pulled what Jordan did. That'd be like Kale wrestling through 2016, kind of. Just pretty wild to think about, but anyways, I hope someone finds it as cool as I did, because I was pretty pumped up about it. You guys have a good one.
I like what he says. He's pretty pumped
I don't
up
want
about
to pick on him, but what's he pumped up about? Some math?
I don't know. He's pumped up. He's
I
like,
get it.
Possibilities that
I guess-
were? I don't know. You can't rewind time. You can't go back in time. But yes, it is
if I
pretty.
could turn back time. That's a song.
It's pretty wild that
Do we think
Jordan has wrestled so long, and that 2002 plus 14 equals 2016.
I know.
but it is weird to think about.
It is kind of weird. Yes. If you,
Weird, yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I think it is weird and wild. If he was,
Do we think this reign of guys wrestling so long, a la Burroughs, Snyder, Taylor, Dake, will become more of a trend?
Yes, I think
You
so.
do?
I
Due
think
to
it's
better
as
training?
long as the funding stays.
yeah,
Better training and funding? Or is it just these guys are so good, this is their thing, and
Well, I think
it'll go a
I
little
think
bit
what-
back to the mean after
no.
the
I
reign is
think
over?
what'll happen is the guys who are, say, like a backup, or the guys who can't make the team behind these guys, maybe will find a different field. Let's say, honestly, like a Bo Nickel, right? A Bo Nickel, if he would have been the guy right away, maybe he stays in wrestling. But because he realizes his path to being on the team is kind of a handful of years away, he goes to MMA, which I'm sure he'll do great in. But obviously, there'll be a point at which, let's just go the 86, 92, 97. If you're in there, it's almost impossible to make the team right now because you have essentially 3 world champions back to back to back, right? And even 79 is a world champ also. But at some point, those guys are going to retire. And when they retire, whomever the guy to assume that spot is, if he sucks, maybe he doesn't stay around for a while. And then but eventually there'll be someone really good who assumes that spot. And once that person assumes the spot, they could then keep it for a long time, potentially.
but one thing,
Does that make sense?
yes,
Or
it
no?
makes sense. But think about
Okay.
Dake and Taylor. How long they hung around as like not
That's
the
true.
guy. They were. I mean,
Actually, you know what?
But
It's actually
so
not that
close
long
to
when
being
you
the
think.
guy.
No, it's not that long when you think about it, because Taylor graduated college in 2014, correct?
made his
14.
first team in 18.
But he was so close in 16 and 17. He was so close.
Right.
So it's like That's only 16 is only 2 years away. 17 is only 3 years away. Like, and he was really, really close. Dake was obviously a little further because he graduated college in 2013.
Yes.
Correct.
13. Yeah. Yeah.
He also
But
didn't make the
still.
team till 18.
But still, they had guys in their way. They had Jordan in their way.
Yeah.
So they really had to stick around
Yeah.
before they broke through, and now they've had a stranglehold on their spots since 2018,
Yes.
basically. Okay. Bad Santa. Let's hear from Bad Santa.
Hey, this is Nathan from Illinois, also known as Bad Santa. I just wanted to ask a question about four-time national champions, specifically as it pertains to Pat Smith. I know in this coming year we have two potential four-time national champions, and I feel like in the modern era of wrestling, especially with FRL, Caleb Sanderson and Kyle Dake get a lot of glory, as does Logan Stever in a lot of ways. But I feel like in a lot of ways, Pat Smith, even though he was the first four-time national champion, often gets forgotten. And I want to know why you guys think that is. I think there's maybe a level of dominance that wasn't seen by Pat Smith that you do see from the last three four-time national champions, but I feel like his feat often does get forgotten or isn't highlighted as much. And I just want to get your guys' opinion on why that's the case, or even if you think that is the case. Love FRL, love FloWrestling. Thank you for everything you guys do for the sport. Bye.
Thank you, Bad Santa. That was nice. What is it about Pat? I think Pat one of the hugest factors is just when he did it. It was, how many matches of Pat Smith have we been able to even watch, right? I've seen his NCAA finals against Tom Ryan, seen some of his matches. I think it's a combination of the main one, if you were to put it into buckets, the main one is the timing of it. The second is he lost some matches, which is common with most of our four-timers, except Kale.
He actually had 2 ties as well.
He had 2 ties because that was the thing. Case in point, he wrestled at a time there were actually tie matches. Ben, you have your index.
Number one, he never made a senior level world team,
Yes.
which probably affected that. And then obviously because he didn't make a team, he never won a medal. Number two, overshadowed by his brother. That sucks, right? I mean, you'd be a four-time NCAA champ, but your brother was and maybe still is the greatest American of all time.
Yes.
That really negatively affects you, especially when you think of like a fan base is the one that pushes, and the Oklahoma State fan base would push John Smith over Pat Smith for sure all days of the week. Number three, I'd say he never became a head college coach, and so like a John Smith or a Tom Brands or a Cale Sanderson, their legend grows because, and obviously a Dan Gable, right? Their legend grows because of what they do as a coach, as well as what they did as an athlete. And he never became a head college coach or really a prominent coach in any shape, right? So I think that's a huge one.
Not just the legend grows, but they're in the spotlight. Their
too.
name is
Yep.
tossed around a lot more.
Yes,
Yeah.
that too.
So
I
Noah
would
did-
say even Logan, when you say Kyle, Cale, and Logan gets forgot about because Cale, obviously, we're talking about all the time because of what he's doing at Penn State. Kyle, we're talking about all the time because he's still winning world titles. And Logan, again, not on the senior world team right now. He did win a world title, but not currently active as a competitor. And I believe he's like the third assistant at Ohio State, So he's kind of not quite as talked about right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be really interesting if we add 2 more in the next year, how we're gonna view all these four-timers.
Yeah.
And then are we gonna get more after that? Is AJ Ferrari gonna be a 4-time national champ? Is Carter Starachi gonna win 5? Is
Keegan O'Toole, baby, what you get those
Keegan
words out your
O'Toole!
mouth?
I mean, it's a foregone conclusion at this point, Ben. The guy's got it locked up. It's in the bag. 5-time All-American, 4-time national champion, legend.
Still getting better.
Still getting better. That's right. We're gonna have a bunch. Then it's gonna be really interesting. Is it good to have that many 4-timers? I mean, we didn't have any till Pat Smith in the '90s,
Well, I think it's a factor of there's actually really high-level coaching at a younger age now, and that wasn't the case for a long time. And so, you had guys at the collegiate level just hitting this insane growth spurt because they're actually finally around elite level coaching and elite level training partners. And now that's happening earlier. So you're having kids be more successful earlier.
But I don't understand why that makes more 4-time national champions, because that is something that is more available to everyone. I would have
Because you got to be ready in year one.
Oh.
So
You
you're
got to
much
be ready
more
in year
likely
one.
to
To win
win at
4,
18,
you got to be ready
19.
right away. Yeah.
Got it.
And if you start the elite coaching when they get to college, by the time they're in year 4 of the elite coaching, you know, their growth curve is, and so the year 4 and year 5 guys are insanely hard to beat because they've had many years of really elite coaching, and there's very few people who are in year 1 or year 2 who've had a lot of elite level coaching. So there's just such an advantage by the older ones. That would be my opinion. At least I obviously wasn't around during the 70s, 80s, 90s era, so I can't comment on that. But I will tell you, in the 2000s era, I was around, and I can say for sure, 100%, that's the case. Very few guys came in with really high skill levels, and a lot of guys got a lot better while they were there because there was actually elite level coaching.
Yes. Okay. Good stuff there. Good question from Bad Santa, which, you know, shout out to him. Boondog from North Carolina has an NCAA rules question. So let's check in with Boondog.
Boondog. I don't know any of the rules, though.
Yeah, we don't know the rules. But
hey, guys, this is Boondog from North Carolina, and had a question about the new NCAA rule change. So if you get 5 events to participate in throughout the year as a redshirt and it doesn't count against you, can one of the events be your conference tournament? Could another event be the NCAA championship? So essentially, like, basically, can you be an NCAA champion while still being in a red shirt? And then if this is for red shirts, does it apply for any other shirts, like Olympic years, or I guess gray shirts? Maybe you can't do that because you're not in school, but just wanted to see how far could someone push this rule to try to get more NCAA championship appearances. Thanks, guys.
I don't think it's maybe even outlined, but no. You can't.
I thought it was out. I thought it said not the. I don't remember what the word was.
Postseason.
Yeah, not conference. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do
postseason, I believe it said.
Yeah. So, don't think so. But thank you, Boondog. Okay, I'll do one more if I can find one.
Let's do it.
I can't. I think this is it. Oh, okay, no, here it is. Sean Carroll. Forgive me if addressed, but I'm a day behind. In freestyle season/tennis comparison, I couldn't help but think there's prize money in tennis.
Oh.
Would U.S. participation increase if there was prize money for podium finishes at FRL, U.S. Open, etc.?
I thought I implied this when I was making this argument.
Well, elaborate.
No, I thought this was implied. I thought we said that because of both prize money at the event and then because of the desire of sponsors, right? If Nike's sponsoring a tennis athlete and they don't ever show up at anything, that Nike is not going to be pleased with their athlete, right? I would actually assume in the contractually there's probably an amount of events that they have to either show up and or play in, I would guess. And in wrestling, because for the high majority of athletes, their main source of income is their RTC salary, which is, you know, non-competition based for the majority of them. I would, you know, they don't desire to show up at a lot of events.
Yes. So I don't know if that would solve a large portion of the problem, nor do I understand exactly where the money comes from for FRL placements or U.S. Open.
Yeah. Well, they'd have to
they have to be a draw.
They'd have to start generating revenue.
Yes, that's the thing. It's like placing at the Bill Farrell does not make anyone any money. It's like
correct.
They have to become a
draw. I don't know. I mean, well, obviously, Flo has done pro cards before, and I guess you guys aren't even sure the exact numbers with me, but I think they did okay. So if you could create a circuit or a series of those things, then you could generate revenue to pay the athletes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's feasible or not at this point in time. But again, to what you were saying the other day, where you brought up that you offered certain athletes amount of money and they didn't do it because those athletes are satisfied with how much they're being paid by the RTC, and essentially the RTC is paying them. I don't want to say strictly, but a lot of the RTCs are paying them as a training partner, right? Very few RTC. I'll say no. I don't think there's any RTCs that are saying we're paying you and we want you to compete in 30 matches per year or something to that effect, right?
No way.
And if there was no RTC money, if there was limited RTC money, and the only way the athletes could be full-time athletes was go compete in tournaments and win money, they would do that, right? Christian, if I said you get zero salary, I'm going to give you a small stipend for a sponsorship. We'll imagine there's a sponsor that wants you're popular enough to sponsor, but you can go compete at these 8 tournaments, and over the course of the 8 tournaments, you could win 80 grand in prize money. You're going to freaking go to the tournaments.
Yep. You
right?
are. I mean, that's the sort of dynamic in jiu-jitsu comparatively. It's like they're not getting paid unless they're competing, getting prize money so that they can build their name up, sell instructionals, sell out seminars. That's like the economy there. We're like, these high-profile gyms aren't paying these guys major money to just train there. They're getting paid.
They're paying them nothing, I don't think, right?
Yeah, primarily. Yeah, that's
and actually.
Case.
Wait, isn't it actually? I mean, in MMA, it's opposite, right? I pay Rufus Sport for the training, and I think jiu-jitsu might be the same. Like they don't pay a monthly fee; they probably pay a pro team where they're paying, 5% of their earnings or their winnings to that coach to spend the time with them.
I think the majority of the elite teams, like the Atoses, the New Wave, B Team, etc. I think they're not the competition teams are not having to pay. So if you're on that elite competitor level, you're probably not paying for that. And you may be getting paid to run classes at times.
Got it.
So anyway, fun stuff to talk about. Fun week of shows for sure. Tuesday, Ben will be here.
I'll be in the Great Salt Lake. I might be floating when I be on the show.
Is that right? Have you ever swam in the Great Salt Lake?
I have not. I would like to admit. I think you can float, right? Because it's such a high salt content.
The salinity, yes. Mm-hmm. Well, let us know if you can. Tyler, I'm sure, has all the sophistication to live stream from a lake if you're just on some sort of flotation device. So we'll get that equipment there, no problem. So we'll look forward to that. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Happy summer. We will be back next Tuesday. We thank y'all so much. Thanks to JD, Ben, Shane Sparks, and Tyler, the producer. But most of all, you. Thanks so much. You guys in the chat do make this fun. YouTube, I will try to pay more attention to you next time. We had Chuck Barber in the chat. That's cool. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great weekend. See you then. Bye.